All right, sorry about that. I realized when I finally got the button clicked, I looked down and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm out of coffee." So, you know how it is, guys. Got to get the coffee. Sorry, priorities. Got to do it. All right, so right now, the richest woman disappears without a trace. All right, well, when rich people, the richest China's richest woman. I feel like she'll pop up again. I feel like some really rich Chinese people have disappeared in the past before and then popped up later on. But um, oh, maybe she's from Powerball thing. I don't know. That's weird. I will have to look at that one more. Anyway, so you can see that the only mover right now thus far is the dollar Swiss. Most of it pushing up again is it's kind of, I mean, it is kind of a combination, but I would say if anything, it was more kind of coming from the dollar. And we had dollar weakness. Now we're rolling into kind of dollar strength. So we'll see how this one continues to kind of play out. I would say for Monday, it's pretty, I mean, look at this, -1, 0, 11, 11 on the pound yen. So not really even the, the dollar, you could see it's really retracing in the last 60 minutes off of these, right? So, you know, typical Monday morning, right? This is what we've seen the last couple of weeks, where we've seen one trend in UK session, then it's kind of turned and reversed. A little bit interesting news down here. You see BOE rates panel could take hawkish tilt this month, so that's kind of always interesting when you hear talking about interest rates taking a new stance from that kind of dovish we don't know going forward. They talked about eliminating this 2% inflation target as sustainable. So again, loving all this talk. I think it's great. Again, I think we're there. Rich people are trying to think of this right. Yeah, I mean, Neuro, they do, but then the one guy, right? It was like, I think he was a Chinese citizen, right? It was like he had disappeared and like, oh, this, he was like a business conglomerate, like some big guy disappeared and no one had seen him. Jack Ma, right? Jack Ma disappeared for like 3 months or something, or 6 months, and nobody had seen them, like in public or something. Um, but he came back out. Like I think eventually, like they saw him. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they saw him at like a Starbucks or something. He's like, yeah, I'm good. Just self-secluding. It's like I think it was Jack Ma. I think it was a big name like that. Maybe it wasn't him, but I feel like it was somebody at that level, right? Super rich guy. Um, um, we're just bringing in food trucks. Hold on one second, guys. I just got a message. Um, hold on one sec. It's a guy that I try to reach. Hold on. Um, just um, hold on. Hold on. There we go. All right. So it's a guy that I don't ever talk to. Well, as you guys know, like for like the boys with lacrosse, I'm the soccer commissioner. He's the lacrosse commissioner, or I'm sorry, I am the lacrosse commissioner. He is the soccer commissioner, and he's like trying to do things. And like we've been waiting and prepping something for a while. And he's like, yeah, we should just subcontract it out. I'm like, dude, don't stop. Like we want to handle it. Like I don't want him to like not get the message and be like, yeah, I did it. I didn't hear back from you, so I just did it. It's like, no, stop. Like he's one of those people. Like I hate that. Like if I don't respond, like you don't ever answer messages, and then you decide that like these 5 minutes you're going to be super productive, and I don't respond back again, and then like you ruin the planning that we've done for the entire last month. I have to, yeah. No, I'm not locked out of the channel, Nero. I was out of coffee. You know what that means. Anyway, let's go over and dive into charts. You guys can see I am extremely unhappy right now with natural gas. Yeah. Look, the chart won't even load. The chart is now frozen, right? It's gone up so much. Ugh, we've broken it. We done broke it. And the funny thing is, I know that it's not the computer because I can see my mouse moving on the stream software. Look. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll have to refresh it. Yeah, reload it. See if we can bring it back. All right, there we go. Nope. There we go. Why is it set on the daily? I don't know why we're doing daily. All right, 30-minute charts, much better. All right, so for the Aussie, you can see we had that little level that we kind of banked off of. about 1 o'clock this morning. We talked about it last week. It was really the downside target is where we expected reversals from Friday. That 73.37, yeah, it worked out. I mean, it hit it again. Not a lot of volume at 1 o'clock in the morning. It hit it and it's pushed back up. It is kind of sitting like right in the middle right now. And again, this is a zone. It's not really the best of zones. It does kind of play into the kind of like the dollar reversal, but it's quite small. Like it's only 4 pips, right? So at 4 pips, could you trade it? Yeah, you could, but you got to factor the spread into there and that kind of stuff, right? I mean, you'd have to throw it on here, right? And I mean, I hate when it does this, but whatever. 1 to 3 is sitting right there, so you can see it's 2/3 of the way, right? It's 2/3 of the way down. So, budget taking it, sure. Is it the best opportunity? I mean, it's session open on a Monday. You expect a reversal to the downside. It's 4 pips. You'd be looking for 12 pips in the other direction with the spread. Is it worth it? Spread's what, 1.2 on Oanda? It looks like 1.1 right now. So, yeah, you could have. You absolutely could have. But at this point, I would say kind of watch. I'd watch for a lower bounce, and again, maybe the 73 set. The 73.37. We're in the blue area on the larger time frame with the 4 hours right now. Really kind of looking for the 73.08. I think that's a great level. It is back in the green area, so we know we're in the bottom 30%. You get total sympathy from me in the coffee lack there. I know, right? At least you support me, Neuro. At least you support me. Although I will say, I don't know if Ernest is here or not. Ernest has had some things with the kids going back to school. He's not checked in. He hasn't bought any tickets yet. But I will say I did my part. I was saving the vegetables from the animal horde. We had some really, so we just got a Lidl. I don't know if you guys know what Lidl is. I think Lidl in my eyes, I believe it's like the IKEA but of the supermarket realm is kind of the best way to explain it, right? You guys know like what IKEA is, right? But we just got Lidls, like all the food. I don't. It was the we called it the food warehouse, Shoppers Food Warehouse, I guess. They all got bought out and turned into Lidl, which is like this blue and it's like the blue and it's like this IKEA logo, same colors, the blue and yellow. Anyway, they had a deal. Okay, they were. I think they were. I want to say that they were prime ribeyes for $3.99 a pound. Okay, if you guys buy meat, like if there's any vegetarians or vegans on here, I apologize for this discussion right now, but they were $3.99 a pound, and they were on sale for like the weekend, right, for the special. I'm like, yeah, go buy some. There's probably none left, but she went and there was 2 left. We had them 2 days ago, Saturday. They were incredible. I ate mine and then the rest of Melissa's because she's pregnant, so she can't eat like a full meal. So I ate hers. We sous vide those things up. Seared them in some rosemary butter. At the end, man, they were awesome. For $3.99 a pound, they were even awesomer. Let me just tell you that right now. So I did my part. I saved the I saved the foliage from from the vicious animals that just do nothing but take our oxygen producers and eat them. So yeah, I did my part. Right. And then yesterday I got an Instapot. I've been looking for an Instapot because I want to make pho, the broth, and not take like 48 hours to do it. So I found a chili recipe. I gotta say, I mean, we got plenty of Texans on here, right? This is my off chart rant for the morning, guys. I won't talk about anything else, I promise. I had some chili. I found a recipe for Instapot chili. And they're like, yeah, this one, we've gotten many messages back where people have won like chili eating contests with this. And there's the whole debate. Do you put tomatoes in it or not? I know people from Texas don't. It's like beans and meat. There's no tomatoes. I like it in there. This one has this recipe. But then there's like, oh yeah, this one you have it with like an umami sauce in there. And I was like, that's interesting. So I'm looking at it, and basically what it does is it has like a chicken broth start. It has some unsweetened cocoa powder in it. It has fish sauce, which I do love fish sauce. And it has some soy sauce, and that's how they come up with the umami flavor. And then you cook it. It's like done in like 45 minutes instead of cooking it like all day like I normally do with chili. I gotta say, it was good. Asher even said it was good. Melissa's like, it's not enough like spicy heat, but I left out the jalapenos because I know the boys don't like them. Gotta say, quite impressed. So like this entire weekend, it was a beef weekend. So I did my part. Oxygen, producing plants, they can live for another weekend because I did my part this weekend. So, but 2 excellent meals. I'm gonna have to do nothing but like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go like Joel veganish for the rest of the week because I've eaten so much beef in the last 2 days. But I do have leftover. I do have leftover chili, so maybe I'll have that today. But so yeah, no bean. Oh, it's no beans in Texas chili. So you do tomatoes, but it's no beans. Maybe it's Chicago then that somebody does no tomatoes in chili, where it's just beans and meat. I don't remember who it was. They don't have like chunks of tomatoes in there. So it's no beans in Texas chili. All right. I'll get them all right one day. All right, so there's your Aussie dollar. Again, like I said, small trade. Kind of similar setup, but obviously nothing here. We had that one trade last week. I'd say mark this level off. I'd like the level. I think the level's good. Up here at the 81.34. Again, 81.34 it's an area where sellers stepped in. It was a quick pullback last week. You can see it really retraced back. It found the same buyers down below. Did not get us down to that lower entry. So right now I'm kind of looking at these two different potential shorts down here. And again, it would be, and this level, this was a big takeoff area. It only hit it once, although it drove deep. So I kind of had this drawn on two levels. If we touch and immediately bounce, look for the long. If we come in and we base, we look for the short. So there's two potential trade setups down here. But, I would say the 81.34 is a short. Here, again, the 80.59, set an alert just a little bit above it. Maybe like an 80.65, set yourself an alert sitting right here so you know when it's coming down to this level. Right? Maybe we'll set this orange. That'll be like our alert color. I typically do that for the news color. But anyway, set yourself an alert in there. That way you know when it's approaching the zone. If it's at a session open or sometime around news, then again, it is a potential long or a potential short, depending on what it looks like when it enters, kind of what it, again, is it basing in that level? Are we going to get a break? And then again, could we get a short on the pullback? With the news we're getting from Australia this week, I don't know if you guys saw it. Friday, Australia is actually forecast to have increasing unemployment rate by 0.2%. So I think any opportunity this week we get to be able to take this one short, I think would be beneficial. So, again, kind of looking more for shorts. That's why I'm a little bit more biased with the taking it here, and again, pushing us back into the green. Again, with the lockdown, what? All right, so I just got a notification. Governor, you guys know Larry Hogan, right? He's the Maryland's governor. I just got an update on Governor Larry Hogan's YouTube page. I guess because I followed it during COVID. I used to listen to it like the first 3 weeks during COVID. I used to listen to it because he was like shutting this down, shutting that down, shutting this down, giving us regulations. I stopped after a while because it became nothing but his, posturing for his run at presidency. I don't know why on Governor Larry Hogan's page he is sharing Yumi Cook's episode 14, mung bean and cucumber salad. Like, you're a governor. Why are you sharing Yumi Cook's episode 14? I drink beer with Larry Hogan from time to time. What? Like Larry Hogan, this Larry Hogan? Really? This Larry Hogan? I feel like it's got to be a different Larry Hogan. No, not really. Okay. Yeah, I don't. He's like, I haven't really thought about the, the presidency yet. It's like, come on, really? You wrote a book. Like, all right, you're going to get me off track again. All right. So my creepy wife is messaging me from the other room. He says that Yumi is his wife, and she has watched many of the episodes. So I guess goes back to that whole thing. So this is what you're going to have to look forward to, guys. If he becomes president, he will be sharing on his, the presidential page, his wife's cooking show. He got hacked and he's playing in his office. Yeah, right? No. So that's what happened. So his government page, this is the page that he used to give his broadcasts for COVID updates. He is now broadcasting his wife's cooking show. Yeah. So this is going to be a great pick for president next. Yeah. All right. Euro pound. Let's get back to the charts. I'll be here forever. Man, I feel like we broke TradingView today. It's so laggy. All right, so we had talked about this level. Look at that. There it goes. Bam. Oh, look at that. It went off right off his own. So we talked about 85.12 last week. It was a level back here where we had kind of mega amounts of movement off of it. Remember, we had that area of interest that we were looking at. Weren't super interested. That's why we gave no color to it. We just kind of highlighted it back and forth again because it got blown through. And again, it was a top, top, blown through bottom. This was the next area where we had big sellers step in. And it looks like that just happens to be the area that we took a bounce off of this morning. So, I would say This one is decent. Again, we've had this driving push last week. It was definitely a much more European based kind of drive down, right? It was more of Euro weakness. And again, pound strength was coming in there. I would say some of this big movement today from kind of the open today most likely had to do with them talking about becoming more hawkish on things. And again, it kind of makes sense that we're taking the bounce here. Unfortunately, the problem with this one, like even though this one is like that's a clean bounce, it's like 14 pips. This one has gotten to the point where it's been kind of getting very, very narrow. And what I'm worried about on this one is really kind of this area here, but it's kind of that acceleration, right? It was here and then kind of accelerated faster again, and then kind of again a punch down. So it's an area with a lot of congestion. So but they won't admit to any kind of run until they're actually neuro, but his is kind of like, here's my book, but remember, wear your mask for COVID. And he's like, well, as you know, I am the president of the Governors Association, and I work with both sides of the aisle all the time. It's like, really? The only time anybody mentions that I work with both sides, and again, he is a Republican governor in a a 96% voting Democratic state. So yeah, there's all that. But yeah, he made sure to tell everybody every time it starts off with, as you know, I'm the president of. It's like, come on, get out of here. How I fought cancer and won. I'm a survivor too. It's like, dude, just stop. Yeah, but he makes sure to tell everybody. He goes across the aisle and he's like, yeah, Mr. Trump, he could have called us and we would have helped. It's like, he's not in charge of the police department in there, and you have the National Guard ready. It's like, whenever he gets a chance to do a headline, he does. And he's like, well, we decided to take, you know what it was, Nero? He mentioned in a lot of his COVID speeches, when he started talking about Americans and not Marylanders, that's what gave it away, right? I'm like, your job is not to take care of Americans. Your job is to take care of Marylanders. So, it's one of those things when he starts talking on a much more global spectrum than, the counties and residents here. Now, granted, we have plenty of problems here. Like, we're a 96%, presidential voting Democratic state, but yet we will probably be the last ones that have legalized, like recreational, like marijuana here, right? Something about tax money. They don't want tax money. Like the proof that it's worked in all these other states, we just won't have it here. In DC, you can give away 2 pounds a year of pot for free in DC, right? Right across the street, right? 15 minutes away. You can have a friend over there and he can give you 2 plants for like 2 pounds of marijuana a year. But God forbid they legalize it here. Right? So yeah, they don't like tax money, right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, euro pound. I don't know. Like I said, euro pound. It's in an area. I think this one continues to fall. I like the news about the pound. I think the pound will take off. The only news that the kind of the varying opinion right now with these two kind of areas. The UK has rejected the idea of vaccine passports. The EU supposedly has said, no, we're going to do them. I am kind of a little bit surprised with the passport thing in the EU. I know there are some nations that are not necessarily super supportive of it. UK, I kind of get. They kind of have control. Like I said, the UK has done okay. Remember, Delta busted out of the UK in about 2.5 months, a little bit under 1.5 months. So they got a grip on that very, very fast. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. I do like kind of minor bounces like this. I think overall, though, euro pound, we still got to figure out how to stay short this pair. The other thing too is remember the ATR is so small; it's only about 36 pips, so the opportunity here is going to be more limited. Again, this was a bounce that we had big movement off of. I don't know; it's probably pretty close. Let's see. Let's just run it out there. 3 is to right there. Oh, so we just did. We just hit the 1 to 3. So yeah, so you're out. You would have been out of that position already. And again, early morning Monday turn. It was an 8 o'clock turn, so slightly early. But again, I would be cautious if you're still holding. Oh, actually, I guess that's not out yet. It needs to go just a little bit further. 3.02. So it's right there. We're pretty close. What is it? My son is marked. Reese was marked A21 other unlawful. So Reese has like 103 fever. So he's not at school, obviously. But the school keeps sending me message that this is an unlawful absence. I'm like, dude, he's got 103 fever. He just took a COVID test. Actually, yesterday he does not have COVID. We got it last night that he does not have COVID, but he has 103 fever, and I'm getting messages about unlawful absences. uh, there's no buses in Maryland. We don't have buses. But yeah. Anyway, that trades in. Similar bounce, right? I would say similar bounce here between the two. Again, be cautious of this one. We know what the 1 to 3 looks like. We didn't make it last week. There was 2 entries short, and it would have actually triggered today. Problem is, we do have an area sitting right around where the 1 to 3 is. It's kind of right there. It's super close. It probably will still hit. This was also kind of not like a major mover. It was a 17 pip move that we were really looking for the top side. But same trade, euro pound, euro, euro yen, more or less the same trade setup. What? My phone is just. I don't know why everybody's like, hey, it's 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. Let me just send you a million messages, just like that today. Unlawful. That's a more extreme. Yeah, Will, it is, and that's kind of what I think they're trying to say, that it's an unexcused. But the thing is, I get a text like we have this Power School thing, right? So Power School is like how I check the schedules and the boys' grades and things like that. It's like their electronic version of it. Every period that reports him, I get another message about how he has an unlawful thing. Yeah. And when you go to the page to figure out what this means, is A21 unlawful things, it's basically like if you let your kid skip school because he just doesn't feel like going today, it's unlawful. You can pay a $10,000 fine and face like 10 days in jail as a parent. I'm like, wow, really? Like, I don't know. They're very big on kids. I don't know if it's because of like, yeah, I want to say that it's probably because of like COVID, where parents are like, because again, it's like your kids, they have to go to school. Like if they don't go to so many things a year, they, like I feel like it's, I don't know. I feel like they're more sensitive to it this year. But again, when I saw this, I'm like, what do you mean the kid's unlawful? And I looked it up and they're like 10,000. I was like, hey, Leah, this is on your watch. It's your security clearance. I'm not getting busted. I'm not paying 10 grand because you let Asher stay home because he was anxious about going to school today. I'm not dealing with that crap. Like Asher wakes up, Asher has no fever. My head hurts and my stomach hurts, doesn't fly with me. No fever, you go to school. And she let Asher stay home, and they brought him to school at lunchtime on Friday. I'm like, not happening. No. I was like, unlawful. I'm like, no, I am not paying 10 grand because you let the kids stay home. But yes, it's unlawful. 820. Look it up. 821 unlawful absence or something like that. I was like, what? Yeah, unlawful, not unexcused. Right. I don't know, Will. Maybe we're just old. Maybe in our day, it was like, we were allowed to have so many unexcused absences, and then they've changed it to unlawful because now they want, maybe we're just old. Back in my day, we walked uphill both ways. All right, so euro dollar. Euro dollar, a little bit of a different play. You can see massive dollar weakness down, hit 8 o'clock, and this one has had a reversal. So it kind of had this little push, and we drew this last week for everybody. Right, the yellow was an area of interest. We were looking for, really kind of a break, but we ran out of time on this one. So, kind of here's where we ended the week, right? Kind of right in this level, right here, right? Had a little bit of a bounce. It was more of a short than anything else. Kind of came back up, filled the gap, and then continued to push. So here was kind of the 1 a.m., the push back up again, and then the push back down again. So we talked about the Harry Potter play in there, and that's exactly what we got. Right? It was here. Now, was the base the ideal base? Did it give a big space of a candle? The answer is not really. 1 of 3 is right there, right? So it came, it based, it pulled back up, it hit, and then kind of came back again to the same basing area. So the trade worked out. It went to the 1 to 3. It used the lower level, the 117.86, as the bounce point, kind of like how we had mentioned last week. And then since that time, it has kind of rolled and pulled back up again. So, the second Harry Potter really didn't work. And where it turned, it was a 7 a.m. reversal. And if you look to the left, so we can see, let me draw a horizontal line. I wanted to make sure we talked about this one. There's your horizontal line. Remember, once profit was taken out, we were looking to the left. You can see that there's not really a whole lot there. This was really kind of look like another 3 would do it. Yeah. Right. So it's kind of a strange spot. So it's one of those areas where I'd watch for some type of a flip there. Right. we can remove these because, again, it did kind of what we thought it was going to do. It took the bounce off the lower level, came back up, hit the previously violated zone, and then continued to drop lower. The second Harry Potter didn't work. So we're going to remove the second Harry Potter now. We're going to actually mark this. Actually, it's this one, right? We're going to mark this bottom. And the reason why we're going to mark the bottom is because, again, it turned and there was nobody else there. So 1 to 3 worked out fine from last week. And again, here's that channeling. Again, if we just extend the channel down, you guys can see that we really just broke out of the channel now. But there was the channel from last week, right? So the channel has now been reset. So we'll remove that. But those channel traders must have loved that one. What is it? Yeah, look. Wait, what is it? I was getting there. Oh. Briggs is an all-in kind of guy, Neuro. He's an all-in kind of guy. He's either in or he's out. But he did win last week, right? He took one winner, right? But again, remember, Neuro, this is about management. Some people like the win-loss ratio. Some people like the pip chips, right? So, all right. So with this one, I would say, we are approaching a level. Again, remember, this is a lot of movement very, very fast. We are approaching a level. We are getting close to that 10:30 time frame. This is where we ended on Sunday night. So this entire area, I guess really kind of there's the base, but we're getting close to a level. We are getting close to the 10:30 time frame where we do a reversal. So any profit taking from this morning would probably come back in again. I would say on a grander scale, and again, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it because you guys love it. Right? There's your 50%. The 50% is sitting right at the kind of the gap level, right? So kind of watch out for it. Right? Kind of watch out for it. It's there. I would say just kind of, be cognizant of that level, right? If you guys are wondering, again, you guys can draw it on yours, but that level is coming in right around 118.11. I think it's not bad. Like I said, I like the way that it formed last week, but it did kind of gap down and come back up and use that as a continued short down. This one did not really qualify for the Sunday night gap strategy just because, again, it was like such a fast hit and then kind of like close low and then pop back up kind of into where the gap was. So kind of a funky entry. So it didn't qualify for the weekend gaps, but it did go down quite well. And then turned, flipped, so we know it. So watch out for 118.11. I think you watch out for, and then on the other side, we can change this to green. I think you watch this one as well, right to there, the 117.74-ish level, right? And don't forget, Neuro, I just have a bucket list winning was on it. Now to become the president, I'm good. Briggs, hey. There's nothing wrong with that. But Briggs, I'll tell you right now, if you become president, we will probably pick on you in sessions, if God forbid you get married and you put your wife's cooking show on your presidential channel, I am going to pick on you. We will kind of, make fun of you a lot. And yes, Neuro is probably correct there. I do believe, and again, we've done some mentoring sessions and we've talked offline. I do believe you are too intelligent for president. First thing is paying the $10,000 fine. I'm telling you, it wasn't on my watch, man. I will fight that one. I have custody documents. He had him in control. I've documented everything. I've documented it all. I'm not paying that fine. There's probably a million other things you can fine me for, but I'm not getting fined for that one. I refuse to be the weak parent that says, I don't feel good. Okay, Johnny, you can stay home. No, you're going to school. Right? Yeah. When I was a kid, we were allowed to miss like one school day a year, right? I feel like that's, do you know how much power I have to give up to become president? Lex Luthor, kind of scary. Yeah. Anyway, look for this. I think it's a potential reversal for this morning, running back to the downside. The risk on it is not big. Your risk is about 7-8 pips, so it's not much. And again, it looks like it's already starting to have some issues. So let's see if we can get one more push turn, roll that down. Look for 117.74. Pound yen, ugly. So last week we went off to 152. You can see in 24 hours, this one is 3 pips. It's kind of done, is it done nothing, right? European session open was sitting right here. Right, sitting right there, and we're pulling right back to it. So, not really much. I think the European session move was about 25 pips, right? The ATR on this one is really just collapsing. I'm really hoping that like now that and again, it shouldn't have made a difference, but the pound yen used to be like the biggest mover, right? The biggest mover, right? In your Trump voice, this is the biggest mover, right? That we've ever seen. The biggest, the biggest. I'm now hoping that after Brexit happened, they don't just kind of like fade into like, nah, nobody cares anymore, right? Like, I'm hoping that it is still a moving pair. Like, I like the way that the pound yen moves a lot better than the euro yen moves. And it's like, yeah, we need a volatile pair, right? We need something volatile. Like, I don't want to have to go. I don't want to turn into Ernest and be like, you know what? I want some volatility. I'm gonna go trade the pound New Zealand. Like, I don't want that, right? Like, I don't know. There are not many people that like to trade the pound New Zealand. You know, Ernest is really getting suckered in. Like, the dark side is really calling to him on that pair. You know, like it's a thing for him. Um, so I'm hoping that this remains like the volatile one. Like, you want to have some fun? Let's go trade the pound yen, right? You can't have any fun when it's moving 1 pip in 24 hours, right? I don't have the pound New Zealand up here. Actually, I have it on another screen. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna look real quick. Let me switch over to another screen. Pound New Zealand. Let's see. What is the daily ATR on this one right now? Oh, I don't have ATR on this one yet. Hold on. ATR and pips. Yellow is fine. Yeah, pound New Zealand is still 108 pips, right? The spread, I don't have the spread on this one. This one? I have too many indicators. Yeah, the spread is like 7 pips right now. So you got to have a lot of movement when your spread is 7 pips. In comparison to that, the let's see, ATR and pips. Let's put that one on. Yeah, the pound yen's ATR on the daily right now is down to 75 pips. It's normally 120. And the spread on that one is 2 pips. So I feel like even when the makers do dive freight train without brakes, it is Ernest, right? But 7 pips is a lot. But like right now, the pound, the pound yen, and here, I'll just switch it here so you guys can see it. This is like the big guy, right? We're down, and actually on TradingView, it says that it is 79 pips, so 80 pips, right? Normally, I mean, as of July, it was 128. So, I mean, you can see if we take the median, like the average right here, the average is about 100. It should be 110. But look, this is kind of normally where it is. Like, if we take since back 2017, 140 is probably the average, right? Right? I mean, this year, since really kind of COVID, since last year, the median is about 120. We're at 79. We're at like, this is the low. Look at this. This is actually, let me see. We could be at the lowest right now at 78. Look at this. This is like a low right now. Not that we trade like the ATR. Like the ATR is not a trading strategy. You don't use it and say, oh my God, the volatility in the pound is about to get huge. It's not like that. I have never looked at supply and demand in the ATR. Maybe it's a hidden gem that I don't know about. But yeah, look at that. That's as low as it has been. Right? As low as it's been. So yeah. Kind of crazy. So let's drop this back down to a 30 minutes. Let's sneak this back up top. And yeah. So crazy. So basically what I'm telling you right now is there's not a whole lot of opportunity. We got a lot of room to run on the downside. Again, we can adjust this level, probably higher now. We knew that it was a level before. We'll move it up just a bit just to kind of give us a decent area for entries. And again, we may get front run a little bit here. We don't need this old short. We don't need this area of interest. Actually, I guess what we can do is we can kind of put it here and talk about there's probably a potential short in this area somewhere right in there. I mean, you can see, oops, not that one. I'll just delete that. I would say that's a lot of movement. But here's the thing: even when we break this, do we take a Harry Potter short? Not so much, because there's a level right here. Yeah, so the level 14 pips lower. So we kind of need something to happen in the UK. Like, I feel like the UK really needs to raise interest rates, come up with the a state-sponsored only COVID vaccine cure, right? A cure for COVID, but you're only allowed to live in the UK for it. Or like find like a new element or something, right? They need something. We need this thing to get some volatility back before we really can trade it much. So there's just not a lot there. Now, pound dollar been a little bit better. We had a short up here at 138. That was last week. and then we ended right here, and it's really just kind of meandered sideways in the same area of interest. So I do like this one for a short. Again, while I am definitely bullish on the pound, I am a bit more bullish on the dollar. Like I said, every single country in the world is talking about how the economy recovery is being, led by the United States. On a fundamental basis, that means we should be raising interest rates sooner. Um, as inflation continues to creep higher and higher and higher, the Democrats are going to lose more and more and more votes. So eventually, they have to be becoming aware of that. I do believe something is going to have to be said soon. So the unemployment rate or the unemployment data 2 weeks ago, I think that threw the monkey wrench in. I think we would have been well on our way. But if you look at the data this week for the United States, all right, let's do none, all. Here you go, and click it. CPI is, again, inflation expected to be positive numbers, so not transient. The PPI data from last week was better than expected. There is a potential, and again, remember, PPI is the price after everything's built. What you and I pay was higher than expected. If these two come in higher than expected again, it just goes to show you it again that it's not transitory inflation. That should bring, again, a good amount of strength to the dollar. So while I am positive um, for the pound, I feel like, again, we have more. And again, retail sales is supposed to be not as bad as before, right? Not as bad as before, meaning that it's like, yeah, it's still negative, but again, these have because it is negative and negative means we could get the chance at a positive number in either of these two. Remember, it's month over month, so think what was happening a month ago, right? In retail sales, back to school, right? Back to school. So there is the potential that they miss on this. And I can tell you right now, I mean, back to school supplies and everything like that, they were sold out. I mean, I know there were supply chain issues, but these could be a miss. So again, and even consumer sentiment is ticking up again, the preliminary, right? So a lot of this is all dollar strength based. So, again, I am more, although I am bullish on the pound, I am bearish on the pound dollar pair because I do feel that, again, I feel like the dollar is going to be, when they start making some moves and we start getting some hawkish people talking about, hey, tapers in and we're doing it quick, right? I do feel that this kind of turns and rolls. Now, dollar CAD is basically oil. Is really what this has turned into. If there was an area of interest, we couldn't get back to it. There was a small trade that again, there's a level here you could have debated at 7:30 and it moved again. There's a small little base in here, so I don't really have a trade set up for this one. Again, there was your oil kind of move from last week, and it grabbed some levels, and there was a test there, and it went right off of it. So I would say, watch this as far as a bump goes. It's 10:20 and it's already starting to pull away from it. So could we have used it for a 10:30 reversal? Yeah, but I think right now it's a bit early. So I mean, there's a lot of yellow in this one because I really don't have a lot of clean levels that I'm really excited about. The only one up top I really like is this 127.15. Again, it was a decent base and a punch, and it hasn't made it there. So the area of interest below that, again, this was from prior in the past. You can see that it touched and touched, but two hits deep in. I think if we can, get a little bit higher, I think that's a decent short. But besides that, it's got so much room to run. I mean, could we get another level here? You could, maybe. But right now, I mean, we're talking about being 85 pips away from that area. It's over an ATR. So it's not a discussion for today. I think this is more of a play that, again, we go into maybe oil and see what oil looks like going into, there. Here's the trade that we talked about this morning during NADEX. We talked about, again, the run up, the 7:30 reversal is basically where it got it. This is the European session up, right? From here to there. And again, ran into that level that we had marked last week. And obviously at this point, it's moved, well beyond it. It's 3-1. So how'd you caught this one in Nadex? We were sitting right here, right? This one's already dropped about 30 pips to the downside. And again, finding some buyers right there. It's pretty much over. We talked about the reversal. Again, it's the European session drive and then the kind of retracement. We've seen it week after week after week after week. Again, I'm okay with this one going down. I would like for it to get back inside of some clean levels. It's a 4:30 in the morning. Try to see if there's any hidden levels. I just want to double check. Dollar Swiss. No, there's not really. It's going to be much lower. They have it on the hourly. Let me see here. Yeah, it's the same level down here. 37. Yeah, same level. Okay. I was just double checking the indicator. So the indicator has a level mark, basically where this profit target is right there. Is probably the next screen. Again, it's only hourly. I think that's probably good, top and bottom. Again, for the next hit, could you take that? It'd be an aggressive entry, but I think there is our next kind of top and bottom as far as clean levels go. There's a mini level right now. Right, mini level right here. Again, nice punch up, pull down. I should probably sit on a 15 even better. Yeah, kind of this level of basing here, but it's not clean enough for me to be able to take a bounce off of it. Right, not clean enough. But this short is good from last week. Leave that there. Put that across. Yeah, so that's probably what we're looking for right now. 92.46, 91.40 to the downside. Dollar yen, doing the same reversal, but it wasn't in a clean area. That's weird. And again, old area of interest level, right? All this area through, we're in the same area. So I think 109.47, and then 110.40 up top again. Kind of the same thing. Needs to move 50 and 46. So 50 pips in either direction, 1 day worth of movement. Yeah, I actually really, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is the vote no matter who. And then you ask them, well, what do they stand for? What are their beliefs? I don't know. It's like, really? It's like, I feel like, what they stand for should matter, not what color they are. Right? This is my take on the whole thing. Yeah. When your elections are more voting against the other guy than voting for someone, you have a problem. That's my take on it. Right? And that's what we've had the last 2 elections. Right? There were more people voting against Hillary than voting for Hillary. And the same thing. The last election was, are you voting for Biden because you think he is the absolutely greatest candidate in the entire world? Or were you voting to keep Trump out of office? And I would say that there were probably more people voting to keep Trump out than to get Biden in. Right? Vote for the solution, not against the problem. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. The state that was like they win because of California, but those two wrecked house in California. They destroyed California. The prison system is like you got to stamp those two on it. Yeah. All right, so let's go to oil. So yeah, oil kind of tagged that level. Now the 1 to 3 hit this morning. We rallied back up again, and now it's kind of doing chopping back and forth. As I said in the next presentation, again, the trade was already there from 70.63. We could see a potential kind of shift, and again, we hit it and drop back down at 9 o'clock, and then the opening and drop back down again. And what it's doing is it's clearing out this level right now. Again, the trade setup was there from this morning, and again, right around that 5 o'clock window. It was a level we talked about last week. I think the next time we look for really decent shorts are 71.74. Honestly, the way it's forming and kind of with the news today, again, I don't know if any of you guys have been affected by, what is it? It's hurricane, or it's Tropical Storm Nicholas, right? Tropical Storm Nicholas path. Yeah, the path is saying that I guess you guys are officially under hurricane watch now as it heads for the thing. I guess Monday at 1 p.m. is when it's supposed to hit, is what it's saying. No. All right, I went to the map and then it disappeared on me, and it's like, do you want a COVID map? Like, no, I want the map of the hurricane. Yeah, there we go. Texas braces for up to 2 feet of rain as Tropical Storm Nicholas hits. That was 2 hours ago. So yeah, so it's a baby. It's only 60 miles an hour, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna hit. Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, so it looks like. Oh, I guess it's going to hit between Corpus Christi and Galveston. So it's kind of thread the needle between San Antonio and Houston. and then it's going to make a turn and go towards Shreveport. So it looks like its track is it's going to miss New Orleans. Actually, it looks like it's missing Galveston too. The main, like the eye, is not going to pass that way. It's kind of interesting, right? I don't know how accurate this is, but that's what it looks like right now. So I think it's probably the fact that Galveston is not taking the brunt of the damage. I think it's probably okay. Um, yeah. So we'll probably be okay. But again, Texas hurricane. I wouldn't expect if it grinds higher today. Oh, you gotta have some bad things, but yeah, you can see it's clearing those buyers out now. So, I think that's the next clean short. Will be up 71.74. Like I said, I mentioned this level earlier. The trade has already happened, and again, now it's having some issues with there. And again, with Nadex, if you took a short from that level again, you're positive right now. So, we'll draw. Let's see, till 4:30. 8:30 is there. So right now, that's what we're looking like. So kind of a small, right? We had this big small Friday, and again, we didn't. That's pretty common, what we expected. So yeah, we'll see. But I do think again in the next 24 hours, I think oil has the ability to get up to 71.74. I hate to see oil this high, but I just feel like that's what we can see. Gold right now, actually, gold has turned it around. So yeah, again, the U.S. trader came in and saved gold. It was really collapsing. Silver's actually retraced back up again as well, right? So gold, whatever happened, I mean, Europeans sent this thing kind of sideways, but man, the United States loves gold. I mean, man, look at this. Here's your 9 o'clock window right there. There's your entry. Look at that. Nothing but straight up. I mean, whew. Americans are supporting gold, bringing it right back up to 1800. And we have seen that recently. But I wouldn't say, I mean, what we've seen and kind of what we were talking about before was how Europeans were driving the price of gold down. There's where kind of I wouldn't say that this is really driving the price down. This is just kind of completely indifference. And then again, the 830 kind of dropped it lower, and that's where the takeoff happened. So I would say with CPI numbers, I would say probably look for gold profit taking to happen. There is this level that's kind of right above 1800. And again, once it breaks 1800, everybody and their brother will be talking about, oh, gold's back above 1800. We're good to go. It's probably due for more reversal. I think with CPI tomorrow, I would like to find an opportunity to get long gold before the CPI number comes out. Trying to think if we could have a scenario where it's too big. Trying to think, what would they say? Now, if CPI is negative, right? If CPI is negative, they're probably not going to be that far off. Yeah, it'll probably still be a positive number. And I'm kind of hoping it comes in at like 0.5. Yeah, I think I would like to get long gold tomorrow before the news. But again, it's where the pullback is going to actually occur. That went right off of that low right there. I don't know that I'd use this level again, unfortunately. So the problem with it is we got this here, and this here. It's all kind of well, let's mark these off. So we know we got all these buyers down here. I would say, I mean, I kind of like this one for a rollover. I think if we get up to that level, I think a lot of people will talk about it. I do think we need to be long before tomorrow. So this is kind of like a today only type trade, right? If we can get up to there, I wouldn't carry this into tomorrow. Again, I'd like to see it reset, and we'll see where we go with it. But I think that's decent. Now, silver jumping this much is kind of surprising. So, again, silver is now battling back. It's a little bit shy, but look at this. Look at nice push to the downside. Silver was down big, and I actually thought we'd have roll with gold. But man, they are on the inflation train this morning. Question is, what do we do with this area? Again, a lot of basing in here, lot of fighting, a lot of fighting, right? I mean, big push here, big push here, big push here. We're hitting the level, and now we're starting to have a little bit of an issue. It is 1032, so again, could we have a reversal from this area? Potentially, right? I mean, 1030 is that reversal time. One trade has already occurred from this level. Does another one come through? It's possible, right? It is definitely possible, although man, look at this manipulation. The 8:30 window cranked it down, and then bam, 9 o'clock. You're like, no, 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 let's go high. So yeah, definitely some manipulation here. Let's see. Let's go back up to 4 hour on this one. Let's move this. Yeah, definitely some market manipulation there. Let's drop $2. Yeah, so interesting setup. So, obviously the trend is down. We are trying to break it. There is two peaks that are broken. So technically, for any of those with the class, on the pullbacks when you have two levels that are broken. Again, once you have two levels broken, it's considered a trend break. It is a trend break to the top side, but we are running it to another level. And again, there's one here, one here, one here, and this is a decent level. So it is a new trend. At this point, it's looking for a pullback. So, for those of you that know what this is called, it's called an anchor break, right? It's an anchor break to the top side. Typically, I tell you guys don't trade it, right? It's a no trade, but I do think there's an opportunity here to get short. I would like to be long silver as well tomorrow. Kind of the same reason why we want to be long gold. I do think, especially if that number is even higher, I think this is a big spiker. I'm kind of hoping the European session shoots us back down again for a nice morning. Okay, and let's go to the indices. Oof! Wow, did it really? It really hit that? It rallied right up to that zone at 9:30 and then collapsed. So we're back down to 44.50. Let's see. Has there been any news? Any comments? Let's see. Slows in demand. She disappeared without a trace. UK abandons. No, not really. Not really a whole lot of news, right? Not really a whole lot of news. So, yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that that's what it turned off of, but at least it had a little bit of a pullback level for the open. Obviously, it did need the lower one here. Where it is at 44.50. Obviously, this is an area that's been turned away twice. This is obviously one of those big psychological levels. There was kind of a, let's see. We know we have an area of interest there, but we have, let's see if we can get anything out of this. Kind of there to there. Not ideal, but that's kind of where it is. Yeah, 1, 2. This is hit number 3. So it's in a very interesting spot. One, because it's 1030. Two, because it's a level where buyers have been there in the past. We do have the ascending candle, so that's not it's not a horrible level, but again, it has kind of driven deep into that level. So yeah, it's a potential reverse. I think this is a shock that it moved this quickly off that level. But again, if we have a reversal here, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, right? Because again, it does have a couple different factors all chiming in at the same time. NQ. NQ did not make it, and kind of the same move, right? 9:15, 9:30, it popped. It didn't reach it. Again, there would have been your zone. Off to the races. We did just go through. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We don't need that anymore. That one went through. Say here. Let's change this to green. Make this a little thicker. It's probably okay. All right. So it looks like we got some room to run for this one too. Something along those lines. Something along those lines. 15,306. And again, this is the most negative of all of them. So again, if we find some ground, YM. YM is quite choppy. There was that level there. And again, there's the initial. So it looks like, yeah, the 9:30 candle. 9:30 right there. Look at that as an opening trade. 2 and 3 is right there. So it did. It made its way out. Look at that on the open. 15-minute level, boom, boom, and then came back up again. So 2 different opportunities on that one. Yeah, so go YM. Yeah, we could have shortened that a little bit, but yeah. On a 5-minute basis, it hit and it was out in the same candle. They're down. Look at that. Actually, 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes. Took 10 minutes, but there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, I would say now what you could do with it. I mean, there's 3 descending candles on the top side. We typically like that. If you wanted to mark off for another level short, I would say it's there. I mean, for what really could arguably be called, trade was there. Uh, Arguably, be called a very kind of short term kind of sideways trend. It does say that it's up, 0.6%, 0.66%. Do we take another one in there? This is up the most. So if we do turn negative with everything, this would be the next one that goes. But I think the trade is already in for the morning off the open, so it's 2 from the open, right? I don't know if I'd take it again or not. It's there. I mean, it's right. I mean, honestly, if we hit this area, we're still basically sideways. Like it would really need to fall again. So I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if we'll get a second entry, but obviously the opening trade, 15-minute chart into a level. Again, number 2 that worked, and then Russell. Yeah, Russell's kind of talked about Russell going higher. It's kind of like we need this one to go up just so it can go back down again. But look at that, came down and tagged. Yeah, right at that. Did it break through? Yeah, it broke through. That's good. No, no, no. I'm actually cool with that. Let's remove the 17. Let's bring this down. I actually like this level down here better. Did it really? It grabbed. Look at this. See what it grabbed? Pretty crazy. And again, that's a fast strike down. It's a fast strike down. Yeah, 9:30 unfortunately really wasn't back on no great level. So, of them, ES and YM great setups. This one unfortunately, remove these from last week. We don't need them now. Yeah, that you would have been hyper aggressive on that one. And even then, I don't think you wouldn't have got an entry. So, yeah, I would say look for this one to kind of halt or at least slow down here at 2209. I don't know that second level will hold. Again, it barely touched it. It's a very, very tiny level. Like I said here, I'll bring it back so you guys can see it again. Look at that little hiccup. And this is on a 30-minute, not a 15. So, I mean, we could refine it just slightly. But again, you can see it there. Yeah, look at that. A little bit of a gap, too. Look at that. Right on top of it. So, yeah, I would say downside, right now what it's doing is it's trying to, establish a new trend. It did break for the first high. It's going for the second one, but it's up top. On a 15-minute, again, a lot of basing, a lot of sellers probably up there. Actually, if we wanted to bring it up, let's do this to there. I really need to put it there. I would say another shorting opportunity in the Russell right there. At 22.43. Okay. So yeah, again, 2 opening trades. A little bit more base. A little bit. That's close. It's close. A little bit more. It's fighting. It's trying. It's trying. It's darndest there. It's trying. So, let's see what else we got here. Apple is up a little bit. And again, remember Friday, Apple is dealing with the judge that sided with Epic Games. For all you gamers out there, right? Epic Games, the people that created Fortnite, were basically fighting with the App Store, right? yeah, there's that issue. And then Tesla's dropping too. So nothing exciting. Natural gas, finally pulling back. Look at that. It got close. Look at that. Pulled back a bit from that knockout. So I need this to come all the way back down again. It's killing me. TLT's up a little bit. Look at this, 44,000. Bitcoin not having the best of mornings. Right? Bitcoin not having the best of mornings. Dogecoin is down 7%. Ethereum's down 6.6. AMC is up. I feel like the Reddit traders, Reddit was all red earlier, although I guess since the open, it's still technically up from where it closed, but where it opened in the overnight, it's pulling back down again. So yeah, everything's kind of, it's Monday. It's Monday. Oh, here we go. Finally, the pound's at 8. Phew. Not much movement. Yeah, nothing. Again, I'm so curious about this one. Growing up. Oh. Her ex-husband. So she's rich and has an ex-husband. All right, guys. With that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing for the day. Where is it? Let me pull this one across. Pull this to here. Reese is at the doctor. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. So Reese is negative for strep and mono. Fever only 99, so he's on the mend. Great. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. Is everybody in? Briggs is 1. Neuro is 2. All right. Close the giveaway down. Winner of today's drawing. And remember, Ernest won on Friday. So Ernest is going for 50 pip chips today's. Everybody else, it is 25. Winner of today's drawing is... Ooh. Now, Debbie said on Friday that it was going to be one of the 2 girls that won on Friday. And there was a little bit, more than normal. But right now, she missed it by a day. So you got to give it to her, right? Marker is complete. Let's give Marina her 25 pip chips. And she's closing in on Will yet again. Right? The problem is, it's not like either of these 2 are the big spenders. These 2 are the slow and steady. Now, Marina has used some of her pip chips. Will has 2, but Will's very busy, so we haven't been able to take advantage of those, Will. Hint, hint, hint. But, yeah. So the battle is, look at this. Within 100 and what? 120? Like 120 separates these 2. So Marina takes it again tomorrow. Or actually, not tomorrow. If she takes it on Friday or Wednesday. So if Marina goes on Wednesday, she gets 100 pip chips because it would be her second, right? So yeah, that puts them within 20 pip chips. So the battle is heating up, right? The battle is heating up. And again, Ernest chasing Debbie, and Neuro is hot on his heels. And again, Neuro's been a big winner. Neuro's in the big spend phase right now. Big spend, big win. Right? He did have the triple last week, which got him really, really close. So again, a little battle here between 3rd, 4th, and 5th, right? And then Sean, Commander of Root, we haven't seen for a while. He accumulated a bunch of pip chips. And then Eki is coming up. And again, like I said, Wealth Builder only comes in to win. So, and then Q is just barely holding on over here. Ross will have, if Ross is in this week, I don't think Ross is in today, but if Ross attends this week, he will overtake Q for number 10. So, all right. With that said, like I said, there's no other big news in there, nothing else crazy. So it's Monday. So with that said, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Remember, it'll be tomorrow morning with Nate X from 8:45 to 9, and then tomorrow afternoon from 12 to 1. All right. You guys take care, and I'll catch you guys then.